Okay. Okay, so here they are. So we will be unboxing these plants for today's video, and I hope that my mom doesn't watch this video because I have a lot of plants currently. So if you're new here at the channel, this is Cali Plants. My name is Mark and this is my greenhouse. And for today, I wanted to show you some real low light succulents, or succulents that you can put in a bright windowsill that can get partial sun and doesn't need a ton of direct sun. So recently I bought some type of those succulents, and if you've been following my recent videos here at the channel, then you might already know that I'm actually diverting into some other types of plants as well, because recently we've had a lot of Crassula sea succulents, and now we're gonna be moving away from that. Though still we're gonna make some Crassula sea succulent videos, but we're also gonna start featuring more of other types of succulents here at the channel, and also some cacti as well. So I've got some really nice grafted cacti today. So here it is, our first box. So this will be I think the low light succulent package. So I got this from Ma'am Jessame from Bugyas, Benguet here in the Philippines. They're propagators of succulents at the highlands. So if you want some of these types, then you can check out their Facebook page. Okay, so you might notice here on this part of the greenhouse we have a lot of shade. So this is where we'll be putting this type of succulents, because I recently have my full sun plants over there. They're already taking over the space, so now I think that I wanted to fill my low light part of the greenhouse as well. So we have this. Okay, we already have a lot here. Wow, actually I don't think I will be able to identify all of this right away, because I still need to work on my identification of this type of succulents. Okay, so that's enough. And we've got a free one. Nice. Okay, I think that's about it. So this is the free one. I believe this is a rondo or an echeveria of some type. Now I know that this is free because I didn't buy any echeverias for this batch. So this is a giveaway free from Ma'am Jessame. So now I've always been looking at Ma'am Jessame's Facebook page, but I didn't manage to buy any. So this is actually my first time buying from her, but I believe that she always does these live sellings of her plants, and she has these really nice succulents, and sometimes she has big size succulents as well. Okay, so this is, oops, okay, the first dive. Okay, we're gonna dive head first on this plant. So this is a Haworthia probably, or an aloe of some type. That is a small size succulent, really nice. So you can see that it's a darker colored succulent compared with our brighter ones. So you know that this one can really tolerate some partial sun, some partial shade, because as we know, those colorful succulents, they need a lot of sun to retain their bright colors. But those that are darker, since they're dark in color, they will absorb too much sun if you give them full sun, so they will tend to burn. So if you want to keep your darker colored succulents alive, you will have to give them a little bit of protection from direct or from intense hot sun. So these are individual plants that I chose, but you can say that they're do-it-yourself kind of set. Okay, so this is Haworthia cooperi, really nice. It's got rounder leaves compared with our cuspidata and with our cymbiformis. So really nice. It's got some really nice windows on there. I actually like this window type Haworthias more and more. Maybe I will be doing a video soon on plants that have windows, since that we're getting a lot of them now. Now this is a windowless Haworthia, probably a Haworthiopsis. So this is a green colored one, really nice, really bright. You can see that it's a really lush colored Haworthia. It has this really lush green coloring, really nice, really amazing. I really like this green type succulents, especially if they're the bright green colored ones. They really stand out. And these green colored ones, they can tolerate a lot more partial sun. They can tolerate some protected spaces that doesn't get a lot of intense heat. Isn't that so amazing? Look at that, it's so big. Wow. So this is a type of Haworthiopsis probably. So you can see here that the leaves doesn't have that stripes compared with our zebra plant. So it's got a different pattern to its leaves. Really nice, really pretty, and really big as well. It has a lot of babies at the sides. Okay, so this next one, it's got a dried out bloom stalk. So you can see here, okay, it's got a dried out bloom stalk. We'll be removing that. Check this out. Oh, it's more of the green colored ones. Really nice. Lush colored Haworthia. See that? So amazing. So it even resembles like an Caveria agavoides, but it's a Haworthia. Really nice. Really stunning. Okay, so these ones, they don't have farina, so you can touch them. And they're really textural, structural plants that look like they're geometric shape. So if you want some more form rather than color on your plants, then Haworthias and aloes will be the one for you. So they're more of these structural and thick leaf succulents that they don't drop a lot of leaves right away, and they tolerate a lot more shade, so they don't need a lot of light. They don't etiolate very often. So for this one, for example, even if it grows tall, it doesn't show up its stem at the middle because it's a Haworthia. It's a compact leaf succulent, so you won't be seeing a lot of stem growth on this one. It will be just leaves. The leaves can tend to grow long if it's etiolating. That's the worst of it. They won't look like trailing plants because they don't really produce a lot of stem. So this one is probably, okay, a Tulista of some type or a Haworthia, if I'm not sure. Maybe this is a Limifolia, a baby Limifolia. Actually, I'm trying to get my hands on Tulista plants, but this is probably a Haworthiopsis Limifolia. Really nice, really cute little one. So I believe the ones that are more big size of that one is much more expensive, so I'm trying them out on smaller sizes, but some of them are already big in size right here. So this is probably a Viscosa. Okay, this is one of more uncommon type of Haworthias here in the Philippines. It's an upright growing Haworthia, probably a Haworthiopsis. So it's an upright growing succulent. It has this stacking style of growth. Our other Haworthias have this clumping bush-like growth. They grow outwards, but this one, it tends to grow upright. Okay, so really, really nice. Next plant. Oh, this is another big one. Wow. I've never had these big size Haworthias before. This is actually my first time. Actually, the biggest size Haworthia I have here is this one. You can see that this is already bigger than that. Okay. So really nice. This one, I've had this for about a year, even before I had this greenhouse, even before, I mastered my succulents, my other succulents over there. I've had this for about a year and it didn't die. It stayed alive. Actually, I think I only killed about 2 Haworthias overall. The Haworthias that I bought, most of my other Haworthias are still here. They're still alive. They're not very healthy right now because I'm still adjusting my care on them, but I'm confident that they won't be dying anytime soon. They're more resilient compared with our other succulents, especially this one. This is already etiolated and everything. This already dried up. I've neglected it a lot, but it didn't die. I think these Haworthias are really rewarding type of succulents. Okay, so now we have this other big sized one. It has a different style of patterns on its leaves. This is actually looking like it's a bush of grass. This looks like some type of grass, but it's already a lot of different separate plants. I can already separate them, but I don't think I will. I really like them clumping. Okay, so let me just, here are my tongs. Let me just remove a shell. So there, I got a shell. Okay, next one. So this is a beautiful one. This is a type of not Sansevieria, Agasteria. Okay, I recently unboxed a Gaster aloe right here, and this is our new Gasteria. Okay, so they're kind of similar, but this one is a hybrid with an aloe of some type, and this is a pure Gasteria. And Gasterias are ox tongue, also called as ox tongues, and they have this really tongue-shaped appearance on their leaves, and they grow out in a fan formation. And later on, they will become rosettes if they get big enough. But most Gasterias will stay in this sideways orientation of growth. Okay, really nice, really thick leaf plants, and really sturdy, really firm compared with our other succulents, which can get a bit of soft They're like, some other succulents are really fragile, but this one not so much. I mean, I can really drop this and it will not be damaged. Look at, look at that. It's really thick and heavy. Okay, so we have our other Gasteria here. Okay, you can see it's got some difference on its patterns. Okay, but it's really nice. They've got this really structure to their leaves. Really nice structure on their leaves. Okay, next. I think this is another Gasteria, if not a Gaster aloe. Really nice. Okay, wow, we've got a lot. We've got plenty. We've got tons. This is a really huge batch. Okay, so we still have 2 more boxes to unbox. Those are cacti. And this one, okay, I think it resembles this one, this big one. So I think they're kind of the same. Really nice. Okay, this lot of plants actually makes me want to make more new arrangements as well. I'm actually wanting to make some arrangements, but I'm short on plants. So since I have a lot of plants here, I can probably make an arrangement soon. This is a nice one. This is a big striped zebra. Okay, so this is our common zebra. So this is the common zebra plant that we have going around here. This is actually a Haworthiopsis attenuata, and fasciata is actually much more rare compared with the attenuata. So the ones that we usually buy as zebra plants are actually attenuata, and this is probably another Haworthiopsis attenuata cultivar, or probably another hybrid that has really bigger stripes on its leaves. So you can see the comparison. This one has much more thicker stripes compared with this one, which has thinner stripes. You can compare the attenuata with the fasciata. The fasciata doesn't have speckles on the inside of its leaves. So the fasciata will only have stripes on the outside, but on the inner part of the leaves, it will be not speckled. It will be a plain green colored succulent. So this one, this has some speckles on the inside part of the leaves. This is not a Haworthia fasciata. This is probably an attenuata or some type of Haworthiopsis. Now, if you're getting confused with my Haworthiopsis, Haworthia terminologies here, I have a video about Asphodelaceae succulents, so you can probably check them out. So this is the lot that we got. Okay, so they will be filling up this space, this semi-shaded area of my greenhouse, which doesn't get a lot of direct sun. This will be their space. Let me just set them aside. So we have space for our other cacti. Now, if you've watched my recent video about succulents that are the best for business, I recently said there that grafted cacti are some of the more easily propagatable succulents, and they're much more resilient compared with our soft type succulents that you propagate from leaves. Actually, leaf propagating is very slow, and I find that grafting is much more quicker than that. I have here my grafted cacti. So this is my grafted Mammillaria oruga blanca, and it has already produced a ton of babies at the sides. So I can already graft about a handful of different cacti just from this one mother plant. So I think it's really nice. So I will be adding more of that in my collection. So now on our next box, this will probably be mostly grafted cacti. This came from Diane Tiongson from I Plant Greens, so you can check out their Facebook page. Okay, this came from Nueva Ecija, which is very close to my area here in Dingalan. So shout out to all our growers in Nueva Ecija or in nearby places in Nueva Ecija. I believe that a lot of Nueva Ecijanos really like to grow cacti. We have a lot of cacti fans here, so I hope that they like this video. Okay, so now we all know cacti are actually sold. There are actually a lot of different varieties of cacti, and there are some that are more common, and then there are some that are much more rare, and usually those that are harder to grow are grown on grafts. So they're being grafted so that they can grow much quicker. That's the difference between cacti and succulents. Succulents cannot be grafted with our other succulents, but cacti, they can be grafted on other types of cacti. So it doesn't matter what type of cacti it is. Generally, a lot of cacti can be grafted. Because they can be grafted, these difficult to grow varieties they can be much more easily grown if they're grafted on a much more faster growing variety of cacti. So we have this one grafted on a Blue Boy, on a Myrtolo cactus, and this is probably a Sulco or probably a Lobivia of some type. I keep saying cacti, didn't I? Okay, but actually, some people say that the plural of cactus should be cactuses, not cacti. Okay, but either way, I think people can understand what I mean. Okay, so wow, this is actually the fuzzy type of Astrophytum. Okay, really nice. And it's got a lot of babies already, so I can probably propagate those once I manage to root this up. Really nice, really pretty. Okay, so this next one is a dark colored cactus. Okay, probably Ericis variety. Okay, so I will just probably show the name on the screen. Okay, so this is the grafted expensive one. Okay, so it's got a little bit of dirt, but actually I think this is one of the more expensive cacti here. Actually, it's much more smaller than I expected it, but it's got this really nice texture on its spines. Actually, they look like they're hairs, but they are not. They're spines, and they've got this feather shape on them, on the spines, which is really nice. They remind me of a mammillaria, but they're not. Actually, this is my first time buying a crested grafted cactus. Okay, so we'll be setting that aside. Oops, we've got our next one here. Oh no, did I buy two Astrophytums? So it kind of resembles an Astrophytum, but this is another fuzzy type of Copiapoa, probably. Okay, yeah, I think that they will not be giving any freebies on these ones because these are very expensive type of succulents. Okay, so this is a Sulco rebutia of some type. Get some dirt, but this is another fuzzy cactus. Now you might already see a pattern on my purchases that I really like those fuzzy and whitish colored cacti, which are really nice, and they've got this extra texture on them. They don't look like our common cacti, and actually I'm kind of liking this type of varieties. And I'm actually also looking at their flowers, not just on the shape of the cactus, but also on their flowers. And also, I think I won't be buying a lot of Gymnocalyciums, since I think a lot of people are already collecting Gymnocalyciums, and I believe that there are already a lot of different collectors of that. So I think I'm gonna be focusing on these fuzzy type cacti, which are not very famous, but really beautiful on their own. So I think that these are the types that I will be collecting. This is the last package we have. So this is from Kinopes Shulamite from Benguet. So there are different seller. They're one of the older growers here in the Philippines, Kinopes Shulamite, and I recently came across this competition for a special variety of cactus, and I wanted to join the competition. So now we have this batch. Okay, wow. Okay, so this is kind of disorganized. Okay, you can see it's got a lot of empty space, but they probably don't have access to a smaller box, so they got a bigger one. So let's start with this one. Okay, so there you go. This is a cultivated variety of Opuntia microdaisies. This is actually an original cultivar here in the Philippines. It's not found anywhere else. Probably you can find another Opuntia that is the same shape as this, but this Opuntia, specific Opuntia cultivar, is actually only found here in the Philippines, and I've got two of them. So these are the entry we have on our next competition. So let me just set this aside. I will be making more videos about those. Let's just open up the other ones first. So this is a Stapelia of some type. Okay, we get a big clump here. Okay, so we've got that clump of Stapelia, really nice. And I haven't had this specific variety here, so we'll add that. Actually, Stapelias are one of the more faster growing succulents around. They're not cacti, they're succulents. Okay, So I already have some Staphyliads in my collection, and they actually propagate a lot. So this is my Staphylianthus decarii. So this is a type of Staphyliad, and now we're gonna add more Staphyliads on our collection. Okay, so this one is the special one that I've been looking for a little while. Okay, it's a little bit mushy. I'm getting nervous. It's just probably watered a lot. You can see here, this is a monkey tail cactus. Okay, so it's gotten very tall, really. It's a really tall cactus. Okay, but this is supposed to be a trailing type of cactus, and it's grafted onto a Myrtillocactus geometrisans. So actually, I'm very nervous about. I actually intended to plant it this way, but I don't think that it likes to be planted like that because it feels like it's gonna break apart. Okay, so I'm getting very nervous. I will probably be planting it like this. This is supposed to be a trailing plant. This is not meant to grow upright. Okay, so we already have some fuzziness on our stem here, and it's really nice. It's got this really nice texture, and it's not like an opuntia that will leave glochids on your skin. So it's really nice. Okay, if you've been following actually Living Gifts Nursery, the Living Gifts Nursery Facebook page, they have a lot of this trailing type Colademonensis cacti, that is the monkey tail cacti, and they actually produce this really beautiful pink flowers. So now we have our Al-Edith here, or some other call it the Cordillera Frost. Okay, this is actually a new variety of opuntia, and they have a running competition for this plant. Okay, just be very careful with your opuntias because they leave glochids on the skin. And this one is kind of like it's sad looking, but we hope that this will be looking better in my care, that this will look better in my care. So okay, so we have that. So if you're buying a competition plant like this, you will be getting this paper, this insert. Okay, so this is entry number 207 for our Cordillera Frost competition. Okay, the Grow Out Challenge. So this is an Opuntia microdaisys Al-Edith. So you can see that on the video probably. Okay, so the competition is about growing the best Opuntia microdaisys Al-Edith, and whoever gets to grow them the most beautifully after the scheduled date, then they will be the winner of some prize. And actually, we're not about the prize, we're just about growing beautiful succulents here. And I wanted to challenge myself to grow succulents, and since I'm photographing my succulents a lot, then I will probably be able to join in this competition. This is another entry. Okay, so they actually remind me of these stalactites that grow in caves, probably stalactites or stalagmites, so the ones that grow upright from the cave. So they actually resemble that because they've got these white colored fuzzy stems, and they've got this upright growth on them. So you can see here, this is supposed to be the healthy growth of the Al-Edith. It's supposed to grow upright, and it's not meant to hang like that, but okay, maybe it will stand back up if I manage to water it once or twice. So it's a really nice, and we've got some signs of cresting on this one. Okay, so it looks like it's cresting on some of its stems. This one, if it gets crested, it has this beautiful appearance on it, so it doesn't look like our usual Opuntia microdaisys or bunny ear cactus. This is more of an upright growing one, and I believe that since they already produce a lot of plants of this variety, I believe that it's already a stable variation on the more common Opuntia microdaisys. So actually, I have my Opuntia here. Let me just go grab it. Okay, so I have it. Woo! I can't move 2 inches in this greenhouse without bumping into a plant because I've got a lot. Okay, so this is our Opuntia microdaisys. Look at that. And this is our Al-Edith cultivar. Okay, so you can see that it's got a difference. It has the same color and it has the same spines probably. Okay, but this one seems to have these finer spines on them, and this one has bigger spines. Okay, so it's got bigger dots on it. This one has finer dots on it. Now you just have to be very careful with your opuntias because they have these claw kits which stick to your skin if you touch them. So I'm actually avoiding touching this one, and also this one I bumped a few times before, and I've got these fine spikes stuck on my skin, so you really want to avoid that. But this one has a different appearance. So I already said it's got this finer hair, and it's got this growth habit that looks like a finger. Okay, it looks like fingers growing up compared to the original bunny cactus, which has these pads on them. So they grow in pads. This one grows in this long finger like pads as well. So they're also probably called pads as well. So now we'll be trying our best to make this our beautiful entry on our competition. So we're gonna try our best to make this really beautiful cacti look even better. Okay, so we're gonna be laying that down. So now you will be seeing more of these plants in our future videos. So if you don't want to miss any updates on them, please make sure to subscribe below, and also if you really like these plants, please make sure to hit the like. And if you have any questions regarding growing this type of succulents, or if you have any other concerns, please make sure to comment down. I will try to answer it as soon as I see it. And that's about it for this unboxing video, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.